Everyone. There's so many different ways to set up an assignment and grade things, and we just have a lot of variance going on, which is now evident that it's creating a difference in how grades are being calculated. So we are going to ask that everyone follow the same consistent way of entering grades so that there is no discrepancy in grade calculation from class to class and student to student. So we're just going to review that process here so that you can understand the whys behind it. So we're going to go to an assignment. And all of you should already have your group set up here in your standards. I have mine in generic. You will see these all grades are weighted equally, standards, and then the success skills now has a 0 total. So that will be effective on Monday, October 14th. So I'm going to create an assignment in Standard 1. And I'm going to hit the more options so I have the full screen right away. I am going to type in Standard 1. You can abbreviate, make it short, just be consistent. And that's just to help us track that. And then I'm going to put demo assignment here. Again, if you have any links you want to provide for content, any Google, any YouTube, any of that kind of stuff can be put here. Our points behind the scenes is 4 increments of 4, so I'm going to only attach 1 learning outcome from Standard 1. So it's going to be 4 points. But if you were to add 2 learning outcomes, you would put 8 points because it's all based on the 4-point scale. So I am going to make sure that I change it to letter grade. I should have already changed my grading scheme to be the district standard aligned grading scheme, which is based on the 4-point scale. Always make sure that you put some type of submission, otherwise the speed grader will not work. So online, on paper, external. If you are going to attach an external tool link for a Google file, a Quizlet, some other program, you need to bypass that for the first time and come back and attach that. Otherwise, you cannot attach a rubric. And I can do that in a different video, but just a heads up on that. So I'm going to do on paper. I'm going to assign it to everyone in my class, and I'm going to make it due a week from today. Very important that we try to get these assignments in somewhat ahead of time, because when you enter an assignment, it goes on the calendar, and therefore parents and students then know that this assignment is coming up due, rather than after the fact that they missed the deadline. I'm going to go ahead and hit save and publish. That is the only way we can get to the speed grader. If you're not quite ready for grading, you can just hit save and come back and publish it later. So here's the step that a lot of people are not doing at this point, which we need you to do, is we need you to add the rubric. So you're going to delete the first category because this is the template from Canvas. We don't do 5-point scale, and this is where the outcomes come in place. So I'm going to go to my language arts standard 1, and I'm going to go to 1.3, and I'm going to import. Here's the other thing that's very important is you click use this rubric for assignment grading. Otherwise, you will not, the grades will not carry from the Learning Mastery where the rubric is held into the traditional grade book. And you'll see that in a minute. So I'm all set. You can see here now that I published it. If I would unpublish, oh, it's not probably going to let me do that. If you unpublish it, the speed grader goes away. So when I go to speed grader on the web browser, this can be very clumsy. The important thing to know is that you can't just enter a grade here. You have to enter the rubric and enter a grade and hit save. In a different demo, because I can't do it from the screen, I will also show you how to use the speed grader on the iPad app, because it is very effective. I do want to mention that, however, you can add a comment on the iPad app, but you don't have the option to attach file or this. So if you really do want to attach something or give a verbal message to a student, unfortunately, you would have to come back here and do that. You do not have to hit submit. If you choose to use this speed grader, then you have to go to the next student, view rubric, click on the grade, and hit save. You now notice that it populates in here. So why that is important is when I go to my gradebook, the icon up here. So here is, here's my groups. I did standard 1, so I'm going to look at that. So scrolled over here. So this is the assignment I just created over here. So by doing it in the speed grader, it does populate it in over here. The biggest difference is, and very important, that we want you to be able to see all this great data here. These are all your learning outcomes, and this tells the most recent grade in that outcome for a student. So this is based on, again, on that 4-point scale. So this gives a lot more information than just that one letter grade. It does give this overall based on the number of assessments. And here's the course, how the course is doing overall in that learning outcome. I think that's about it for this one. I will do a series of videos talking about how to duplicate assignments. I'll show you the speed grader and how the students will view the grades. All right, thank you.